So you're with Mark and Diane from Real Estate News and Views. And where are all the buyers, Mark? Where have all the buyers gone?
Yeah, I think the buyers have retracted quite a bit. We're seeing that in the numbers for the last 3 or 4 months. I got a text from a buyer that I'll read off yesterday. We were supposed to show a property today. Bear with me. Hi, Mark. I'm wondering if we could cancel our appointment for tomorrow. We're thinking of taking a little break on looking. So, great clients, been looking for several months for a certain type of property, have gone through a handful of showings in the community and are now just feel deflated because the prices are so stupid. I can't say it any other clearer than that. So, and I want to end this video. I want to go through. Well, I've seen a couple on the board today that I think are worthwhile to mention that, seem a little high to where it is. I think buyers are in fear. I think the media is doing a bang up job of putting so much fear out there that people don't are really not confident about making decisions. Do I think this is a good time to buy? I would, based on the inventory numbers and lack of sales, yes. But why aren't we seeing that? Right? Why aren't we seeing the sales that we would think we would see due to the amount of inventory?
Well, like we beat the whole thing to death. We know it's a part of its price, but I think also part of it, like I've got a lot of people on comments on our videos that said we were looking to buy, but we're holding off now.
A lot of people are holding off, right? And because they're scared. US didn't report good job numbers today,
Well,
right?
they also think that prices are going to go down. I really believe people think that there's going to be more drops in pricing.
Or answer that question. If you like this information, definitely subscribe to our channels for more information on the Barrie Simcoe real estate market. And if you're looking for a home evaluation, click the links in the top of our descriptions. And if someone is buying, we have links there too. To that, but we're down, but that's typically what would happen. Let's wait and see what happens if they drop more. But we haven't seen any drops. We haven't seen drops in prices really, in a sense, in 2 years. That's my
No, right. But are people thinking that we keep seeing an influx and an influx and an influx of inventory, and eventually the prices have to go down? That's what they're thinking.
yeah. If I was
Like,
a
honestly, that's what they're like the comments I'm getting. That's what people are thinking.
Yeah, they've been thinking that for the longest time too. I think one of my first questions, if I'm representing a buyer today, my first call is to the listing agent. Are you guys going to negotiate? Is this price? That's the number one thing on that. Is your price negotiable? Bottom line, if you don't want to negotiate, let us know now because we're done trying. That's what I would ask today.
Yeah.
I would ask that question, right? Especially on properties that are priced a little bit too high today. I would ask that question. I think the ones that are priced for the market, I don't need to call them and ask them if they want to negotiate. They're serious sellers, right?
Yeah.
Serious sellers. So yeah, is there a lot of room in negotiation? Well, the property is priced right. There could be 2 or 3%, right? You may get something depending on the activity on it, but I think that seller will negotiate because they want a deal. They're serious. I
Yeah.
question how many sellers are serious, and then I can also throw it back and go, how many buyers are serious? How many times have we seen we want a deal?
Oh my God, Mark, everybody.
We want a deal today. Well, we all want a deal today. Let's face it. We all do. But we're not, their deal might be a little different than my deal. My
Well,
interpretation is if a property is priced properly, there's the new deal today. Not
and right now we're in an area where prices from 2022 have gone down 20 to 30%.
Mhm.
They
From-
have.
yeah,
They have. And I mean, I remember in my neighborhood, they were, these bungalows were selling at 1.1 or a million and they're at 750 now.
100%. 100%.
I mean, the prices have gone down. Is this a low time in the market? I believe it is.
A low time for what? What do you mean?
I like when we look back at this 5 years from now, this is going to be a lower dip. It was way up here, then it came down here, and I think eventually it's going to start going back up the other way. Like, I don't know if we've reached the bottom, but we're in a low time right now, I believe.
Where the prices are.
Yeah. Like I saw some townhouses on Succession. I just saw one sell under seven yesterday. Okay. I know, or it might have been Westminster, but whatever. I know in 2022 there was three or four end units that sold for 925.
Yeah, I agree and I don't agree. I agree that yes, the prices have come down for sure, right from the peak and where they are today. Yes, in those percentage range. Yes, I agree. But I don't think the market has reacted that much different from where it was in 2022 pricing. Like I
Mark,
don't,
do you
reality should
remember that?
be,
Okay, hold
hang on.
on. Do you remember the
Reality
drop?
should be, reality should be, hey, 2022 was here. Now we're here. We need to price here. But we're not seeing that in the marketplace.
Well,
I'm not.
some are.
Very
I,
little.
because do you remember in 2017 when everything went to hell?
Hmm.
And you remember Cause bought that townhouse on Bibby?
Hmm.
Well, that's selling now what it sold for then,
Hmm.
those townhouses.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know I forget it was such a long time ago, but I
Well,
remember
there
him.
it was mid sixes. He bought it in the fives and thought he would get over seven, and it was going in the mid sixes
They
because
are going.
the market died. But my point is that these townhouses are selling right now, a lot of them at what they were selling for in 2017.
Mm, I wouldn't say 2017 prices. I think cost got that before then. Would I say back in
No, he
2020,
almost lost his shirt. He made no money on it.
right? Yeah, from what they were selling. The market's made no really appreciation the last few years because I sold a bunch of my townhomes in 16 for mid threes, and that was pretty good. Now those properties have doubled and are selling in the mid six ranges today, right? So, yeah, we've seen a jump. We've seen. I think the dates are mixed up with cause because I think he put that later on. But anyway, it's besides the point. Yes, those townhomes are selling in the mid six range, 650, 630, 640. I've sold on that too. And then unit townhouse last year for 640, and it was okay. But they're not those prices in 22 at the peak were eights easy. And you didn't have to do nothing. Now, with the amount of inventory on the market today, you have a lot of competition, right? And if the pricing, to me, I keep talking about the pricing because it all revolves around the pricing, the price points. And I definitely want to show the viewer a couple properties that stick out in my head from looking at the board today in the last this week about some price changes, a new listing on Franklin Trail that I want to dissect. And I wish we could find a way. Is there any way we could cover that price up, Diane, or no?
What do you mean?
Well, I want your take on it. I know the price was listed at, but I wonder if, yeah, I guess there's no way. Whatever. We can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to pull it up, but
pull it up and I'll talk about that. So back in 2022, I had a listing at Olympic Gate, which is around the corner. Franklin's a nicer street, but this was the same type of property. It's a bungalow, nicely done. And we got an offer. We put the coming, yeah, I think we put it at nine and change, holding off on offers, whatever. We got 1.3 as an offer, and the client said, you know what? No, I'm not taking that. A year and a half later, she got, I think it was 930 or 960. So I question why this new bungalow on Franklin in Barrie got listed for 1.3 million and change. Yeah, it's nice, but where I'm going with this, what's the valuation, right? I think if somebody is listing that high or just not serious sellers,
why is it not coming up now, Mark? I saw it last time.
just put Franklin, put Barrie.
It was Pepin, was it not?
No, put Franklin. But I know what you're talking about, but put Franklin first because that's kind of put Barrie. You'll see there's a couple listed there. Um, so. You know, there's going to be no traction on that, right?
It's a bungalow.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
What was the price?
1.3 and change. There it is, I think. There it is. So, um, nice curb appeal, nice street. Let's talk about the street first, because give the viewers some insight to that area. It's just off of Essa Road. Subdivision consists of a mixed range of properties and price points. Some towns, some condos in that range, and Franklin is the best street on in that area. But my question is the valuation is wrong on this bungalow,
Holy crow.
right? You got
It's
a
beautiful,
small,
but it's not very big.
it's not very big. It's so I question the valuations. So when buyers continue to see properties come up, and this isn't happening in Barrie and Simcoe County, this is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to get worn out and defeated. They're going to go, "We're done," because this market is totally stupid, and it is for pricing. I think that property, Diane, it's pretty. Yes, it shows well, great presentation. It's not that big. I don't think it's worth anything more than 1.1. And I think I'm being generous.
Are they
There was,
lying about the square footage?
I don't know, that seemed, well, looking at that square footage, it looked pretty big. When one sold over on Royal Park for a million, under 1,050,000 yesterday, been listed for some time. Way better area. Huge, great area, upgrade area. Home is not as pretty as that, but I would have taken the one on Royal Park any day over this. One for location.
Well, there's no lot.
There's no lot. 44 by 91. And that's the problem in that subdivision, right?
Well, the
But
problem is in that subdivision too. I don't like what Pratt did, and you know what I mean. They have condos, they have a whole bunch
city
of
made,
townhouses, and then they have high-end homes. Like you know when they talk about um you want to be the shittiest house on the nicest street. You
yeah.
don't want to be the nicest house on the shittiest street
No, for sure, for
because it
sure.
brings your value down. And I'm not saying the area is terrible because it's a newer area,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of investors, a lot of rentals in there.
It's a
You
ton.
lived in there and you said,
Like the location, don't like the neighborhood because I found a lot of homeowners or renters that they just didn't upkeep their properties. Weeds were 10 feet high almost. Like it was just like embarrassing, right? So just the pride of ownership wasn't there. And is that caused from the different income levels and price points? I don't know. I don't know.
or
I
the
think it's,
renters or the tenants that, they don't
yeah,
care.
I know they don't care. So, so there's just
Not
better.
all of them,
No,
not everybody, but some.
no. So when we see listings being priced aggressively high, we really can't create a market for that.
No.
I'm not a magician where I can create a buyer for that. Great, I can do a nice reel, I can do a nice TikTok and a YouTube, whatever, whatever. But it's not going to sell the house. What's going to sell that house is the right price.
Well, and we've always talked, I'm gonna stop the share one more time because we've talked a million times about um the consumer confidence does huge, right? Like buyers and the opinion and their confidence basically run the market.
Well, I agree, and they've scaled back. First timers have scaled back, I'm sure. Other buyers that want to trade up or trade down are scaling back. But I encourage them to keep looking, keep watching the market, keep getting yourself educated in the market, keep seeing what's being listed, keep looking what's sold, keep reaching out to your realtor to say, "Hey, what about that one? What's going on with this one? Oh, I seen a price drop on the one that we liked. Is it better priced? Yes or no?" Right? Keep the conversation going because I think eventually, as we've seen over time, um, the properties do come down. Not all, but the
No.
properties do come down.
Well, I want to look today and see if I think there's any that are priced right.
Sure.
Why don't we try that? Because um what is this? Land? Probably.
Yeah.
Um
Go to page 2. Do one on Barrie.
I just want to see this one. 549 in Innisfil,
It's a tear down.
basically. Hmm.
700 square feet. 2 bedroom. It's a tear down.
Hmm. I'm looking.
Well,
So Bannister is the new ones, right?
yeah, don't go there because that they do get some more money. Look at the one on Foresight.
Bronte Crescent, 774, 900, 3+1, 2 bed in Letitia.
Pull a history on it too. Just see. Because that seems kind of high.
It is high.
We're continuing to see, like when I checked the board before hopping on, there were 60 new listings.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
a lot of inventory. And,
Well,
and as we turn the calendar to May now, which we're in, um,
sorry,
sellers
it's
are
spinning.
ready to go. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why it won't go on.
That's fine.
Like the one I'm listing in Innisfil, like is like in a, oh gosh, we're spinning marks, so I don't know what's going on.
There you go. Okay. So there we go. We got some history.
Oh no, this is the one before. Hold on. No,
Okay.
no, hasn't been listed before.
Yeah. It's too high for that. For that. Right. It's going to blend in with everything else in
It's
the
way
market.
too high for that neighborhood, that's for sure.
There's one on, pull the one up there on, where did I see it?
Brighton Road looks high too for Brighton. Oh no, maybe there isn't none that's any good. I don't know.
There's not many. There's a town.
Okay, here Silver Trail is a nice area. I don't know. It's a bungalow.
What's the price?
Well, it's got a pool in the back. Nice area, double car garage. Eight
Small
ninety
house.
nine. Still
Okay.
kind of high, eh?
Don't love the picture. It's really dark in there.
Well, and I can't really figure out the house. Like, I don't know.
It's hard to figure it out.
It is. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know. Now we're back to high. So
Yeah, don't.
I don't know. I gotta
Anyway,
get Gracie something. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
hit the
Okay.
foresight. Hit the foresight. Go back.
Foresight.
55. 699. They're selling in that range up there for under
Foresight's a nice, yeah, Foresight's a nice street. I gotta get Gracie something. She's gonna drive me
layouts are
crazy.
terrible. It's not a 7.
I don't like this layout. I was gonna buy one like this and I can't deal. It's too small. And the
Small.
dining area is at the very front when you walk in and it's tight and skinny and narrow.
Yeah. 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 Like the finishes look good. We're seeing most townhomes selling under 7. A lot. A lot of them are. 650 seems to be the average that we see, depending on the age and location and what it has. But it's odd to see a townhome selling in the 7s.
Well, I
If it
think
is,
that
it's
one's a
fairly
7,
new
isn't it?
build. No, I don't know. I don't think it is, but we can go back and check. Freehold, a row and unit.
Yeah. I
What's
mean, I
square?
like the street and I like the outside aesthetic. They look nice.
Yeah, I think they'll struggle a bit at that price point.
Oh, look at this one. 724.9 Cundles Road.
What's the size of that?
15 to 2,000.
724 is okay.
You're
Let's
probably
just,
withholding offers. What do you
yeah,
think?
well, let's go through it, then we'll check that.
I mean, it's dated and stuff, but Mark, that's a cheap price for that size of a house
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
with a double car garage, 3 bed, 4 bath.
Best thing we could tell a seller today is one is you need to understand what market that we're in. Two, you need to know what is selling, how much inventory, and you have to get the comparables within a 250 to 500-meter radius and base your price point off what is sold. And
Well,
it's going
and you know what, Mark?
what's the holding off on offers?
Nope.
Good price. Good price.
It is a good price. Does it
Yeah.
need work? It does,
Good value there.
but there's value.
There's value. Yep.
There, Mark. Yay, we found one.
Found one. So buyers don't give up on that. Keep looking at the board, keep the communication going between agent and yourselves. Take a break. Yeah, maybe take a break and say you're a little frustrated. I get it. I understand. But keep actively looking
Okay,
to see.
Mark, I have a good story for you. Then we'll cut it off. Um, I had a buyer looking in the Midland area, and he was getting defeated because he couldn't find anything really in his price range. And so he took a break. I'm going to take a bit of a break. Okay, no problem.
It's normal.
Monday, he emails me 3 listings
Mm,
that he wants to go see.
okay.
The one he loves is sold conditional and affirmed yesterday for in his budget. And he says, "Well, I'm upset now because I just missed out on a good one."
Right. And they do come up. We put one up on condos. That was a decent price. Right. Decent price.
They
So
come up, Mark. And so, like, now he's totally bummed out because he really liked it from the pictures. It
mhm.
actually sold in his price range and he missed out on it.
Yep. And the ones that do come up at some good prices, we just the buyers need to see more of it. The buyers need to see more price points like that in a sense that offer value and offer the right pricing for the market that we're in, right?
They're
And
there.
they're hard to find. They're there. Do they come up all the time? No, but they come up. They come up every day. We
They
see
do.
not everything is not overpriced. It's not.
Mark,
A
the
lot
one
of
I'm listing in Innisfil, on the way to get meet the photographer, I passed one that's almost exactly the same, and I looked it up, same square footage and everything.
it.
One of the teams in Barrie has it listed.
Mhm.
We're listing at 829. They're at 1.299.
Yeah. Why take that? Why take that listing?
I don't
Well,
know, but I thought, okay, this house is like almost exactly the same. And you know what? It didn't come up in my search. You know why? Because I didn't
I
search that high.
know, I know. Like that makes zero sense.
I
Zero sense.
know. I wouldn't, why would I even look in that high? Like I wasn't.
The agents can't create a market for something that's grossly overpriced.
No.
The market is shifting right now. There's an imbalance. A lot of listings, a lot of sellers, buyers are just not there like they used to be. So
They gave
they're
up. I think they gave
decision.
up and thought, we're gonna wait.
Some
Because
are.
and they all still want a deal. Like that's the problem. Like even when you see one that is priced well and we say that's actually priced well, they still kind of want a deal because
I don't think the deals are there. I don't think the sellers have given up that much, from my experience, giving up that much room and price. If
no,
like, so yes, there is that buyer out there that does want a deal. Don't get me wrong, it does. But if something is priced good, just price for the market, then to me that's the deal. We found
that's
price in your range that is priced well. You're not going to beat the shit out of them on price because you want a deal or because there's, 800 listings in that range. There's been an abundance of listings for a long time, and we haven't seen the sellers cave, right?
Exactly.
So, are we going to see them cave? Well, the serious ones will better learn from this video and better really dive into the numbers and go, hey, maybe we are too high. Maybe we do need to adjust. And ask the agents, where do you base is the price based on what you think it should sell for or based what's selling on the market today? And you can't go that route. What is
Well,
selling today?
and not only that, Mark, if they are priced well, I find they're selling for 97 to 98% of the
Sure,
price.
sure they are.
Because
Within,
somebody does realize it's priced well.
right. They
Even
do.
if you don't think it is, because I have some buyers, oh, that's way too high. Well, it sold in one day. And
If you can
yeah,
back up the conversation, go, hey, listen, no, it's priced well. Here it is. I pulled up some comparables in the neighborhood, and I just saw them, and they're great. So they priced it properly. That's why it sold,
hmm
right?
yeah,
I think um, to try it. We'll only sell if we get our price point. Don't sell because you're not getting it. If you're serious about selling, then price it for the market. Get your get weekly updates on what's going on in the market. How many new listings in my range have come up today within my neighborhood the last week? How many have sold?
hmm
Is the competition getting better or is it getting worse? How do
hmm
we fare with the comp? There's the conversation can go on forever in a sense. Get information. And I think either the sellers aren't informed or the sellers are listening to what the agents are saying. I don't know who's wrong in this puzzle, but I can tell you one thing, the
yeah,
buyers know.
yeah, exactly.
So
Okay,
good.
Mark, I think we covered that really well.
Yeah, anybody wants some more information on the market, definitely reach out and get a hold of us.
Perfect.
Okay, see you.
See ya.